Meanwhile, Donald Trump's lawyers say that he cannot raise $464 million by way of a bond in his New York fraud case. How do you see that one playing out? Donald Trump's legal team say that he should be immune from prosecutions. But what do you think about this cash? What do you think is at play here?
I think what's at play here is Donald Trump's claims of his self-made worth. And this is really troubling in a different aspect. It's that if bond companies are not able to give him a bond, it's because they don't think that he has the assets or the ability to pay back the bond if need be, or that they would not have enough assets to seize upon if the bond needs to be collected upon. What really that is an endorsement of what the court concluded, that Donald Trump's assets may not be worth what he said they are. And this is troubling from the perspective of a potential fraud, if you will, and not on the court, but in terms of his accounting. This really goes to his honesty and is a big indictment of a lot of his claims about his worth.
So is it conceivable that Donald Trump is not a billionaire, which we can all agree is a key part of his brand?
Well, it's conceivable that he is perhaps a billionaire, but he does not have the multiple billions that he says that he's worth. And it's also worth remembering that his assets are tied up in properties that are linked to one another. So the valuation of his properties may not be as much as he says they are. Certainly, he is a very wealthy man by his own right. But the complexity here is that should he try to make good on this debt that he now has to pay, he would potentially have to unwind a lot of his empire. Because when you purchase real estate, when you make all these transactions, you're effectively using your other assets to as security for loans and as security for complex transactions. So it's not just a matter of selling a building or a property. In order to raise money, he would have to unwind a number of deals, which might result in the sale of multiple properties.
Can he kick this legal issue that he's got in New York into the long grass so that he gets a run at the White House? Or could this particular case catch up with him before November?
This particular case could catch up with him in November. If he is unable to post a bond to appeal this decision, then he will have to make good on it. And that means that he will be distracted from his campaigning by the need to sell assets, by the need to come up with close to $500 million when you add penalties for each day that goes on, that he will be very much distracted from the campaign trail by the need to raise assets in order to make good on this judgment. Of course, if he appeals this, then it will be postponed past election day potentially, but even then it will be lingering as a matter of fact that he will have to somehow come up with assets either to appeal or to pay the judgment. This is a distraction that he certainly does not want.